This is Valley View News, and these are today's headlines. It's Earth Day, and people come together to clean their communities. Plus, more than 53,000 homeless in LA County, and there is only one parking lot in the valley designated as safe to sleep in cars. And California's first special needs hockey team shoots and scores in Simi Valley.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Kimberly Silverio.
And I'm Gianni Navarro. Today is Earth Day. The environmental awareness campaign has been around since a U.S. senator from Wisconsin held a teach-in in 1970. Earth Day events around LA include beach cleanups. People remove thousands of pounds of trash every year. Valley View News reporter Claudia Flores begins our Earth Day coverage in Santa Monica.
Health Aid Kombucha sponsored a beach cleanup with the Surfrider Foundation Sunday. The company is known as environmentally friendly. Eric Garcia says the company wants to minimize waste that harms the planet.
We still brew our kombucha in the 2.5-liter glass. We don't use any plastic or any metal to not just for to conserve the flavor of the kombucha, but just to be more health conscious and just take care of the planet a little bit more.
The foundation wants to reduce litter, protect the ocean, and raise awareness about plastic pollution. Their goal for 2019 is to remove 200,000 pounds of trash. So far, they've removed almost 35,000 pounds.
Our primary job out here today is to remove trash from the beach, but more importantly, it's to get people to connect the things that they're removing from the beach with things that they're using in their everyday lives.
At the end of the event, the trash is sorted by volunteers. They then weigh it and remove it. Their goal is to provide data on the pollutants found on the shore. They share it with the LA County Board of Supervisors, who develop solutions to the problem.
We collect that data to help us leverage policy initiatives at the local, state, regional, and federal levels, right? As we go in and we meet with decision makers, and the first thing they want hard numbers, and they want to know how this affects business.
Beach cleanups bring our community together to help reduce the trash found in our environment. In Santa Monica, for Valley View News, I'm Claudia Flores.
Stay tuned. We'll have much more coverage on Earth Day coming up.
Many people without homes sleep in their cars at night. There are many parking lots in LA County that provide safe sleeping. But Valley View News reporter Cristina Rodriguez says only one of those locations is the San Fernando Valley.
North Valley Caring Services has become the heart of safe parking in the San Fernando Valley. We sat down with coordinator Laura Rathbone for more.
We are the only safe parking program located in the San Fernando Valley. We're the only safe parking program in the county that allows RVs on our sites as well.
NVCS offers a breakfast program, a food pantry, a night outreach, and a clothing store for beneficiaries to buy and sell their goods. Manny Flores, the executive director, says people have come for the breakfast program and found the safe parking services.
Law enforcement suspects that you are living in your car. Then they can start a series of threats and ultimately a citation and impounding your vehicle.
Flores says they have seen many families come into their safe parking program and have a great transition back into housing and receive temporary hotel vouchers.
I could sleep. I'm not sleeping with one eye open. It's been really, really helpful for me.
NVCS offers food, showers, restrooms, and a security guard to their beneficiaries.
Well, the safe parking program has helped me a lot because I've been sleeping out there in the streets and I was uncomfortable, freeing from my life.
They must go through an intake process and their vehicles must be drivable with registration and insurance.
It's a great thing that they're doing and I'm really happy to be a part of this family.
North Valley Caring Services served over 200 meals tonight and every Wednesday night. They end their outreach here at their safe parking location, the only one in the San Fernando Valley. In Northridge, for Valley View News, Cristina Rodriguez.
Sri Lanka is still recovering from the attack that killed 290 people in several churches and luxury hotels. The explosions blew off church roofs and blew out hotel windows. Many of the dead were worshiping or were hotel guests. The terror attack forced the country into lockdown, affecting 21 million people. Many were concerned about a memo that was sent out on April 11th. Government officials pointed to an intelligence memo that was 10 days ago warned that city about possible attack. But the populace didn't pay attention. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo blames radical Islamic terrorists.
We mourn the loved ones of the victims, some of whom we can confirm were indeed U.S. citizens. This is America's fight, too.
24 people were arrested following the bombing, but so far, no group has claimed responsibility.
The FBI has arrested the leader of an armed group that tries to stop undocumented immigrants after they cross the U.S.-Mexico border. The American Civil Liberties Union says the vigilante group led by Larry Hopkins illegally detains migrants. The ACLU says UGP claims to help the Border Patrol cope with high numbers of migrants. Peter Simonson with ACLU says federal, local, and state authorities need to step in as quickly as possible.
This is exactly why we don't let private citizens enforce the laws of our country. This is an act of vigilantism.
The U.S. Customs and Border Protection says it doesn't tolerate any vigilantes.
President Trump's trying to block a Democratic congressional committee from getting 10 years of financial records. The House of Intelligence and Financial Service panel has subpoenaed 9 financial institutions. Trump's lawyers say House Democrats are obsessed with finding something they can use to damage the president politically, and claim Congress does not have an unlimited right to investigate the executive branch. House Ways and Means Chairman Richard Neal says he's prepared for a legal battle for the tax information if the Treasury Department does not comply by tomorrow's deadline.
Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren is proposing debt-free college tuition. Warren says she wants to reduce the $1.5 trillion owned in current student loans. She plans to forgive the debt for Americans who earn less $100,000 a year and owe $50,000. The Massachusetts senator also wants to make public universities tuition free. The proposal would cost $1.25 trillion. She says she plans to pay for it by taxing the wealthiest Americans.
The Supreme Court will take up job discrimination cases involving LGBT workers. This is the first time the Supreme Court will rule whether employers can discriminate on sexual orientation. The Trump administration remains divided on whether Title VII of the Civil Rights Act prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. The court will begin to hear arguments when the next term begins in October.
It was an uneventful trip for 13 students who became ill on a flight traveling from Miami to Boston. The students began experiencing stomach virus-like symptoms on the last leg of a trip from Ecuador. When the plane arrived at Logan Airport, the victims were transported to Massachusetts General Hospital and were treated for minor illnesses. No other passengers or crew members reported symptoms.
This month is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. CSUN's Project Day is starting off the week by painting shirts on campus. Student coordinator Chrissy Rotana says it gets students involved in making a change and creating a safer environment.
Our annual Safe Week event where we do outreach to the entire campus through all of the workshops that we're doing. We're doing different workshops like Dun and Day workshops. We're doing a self-defense workshop to teach students and faculty how to defend themselves and how to stay safe.
Around 12% of college students experience sexual assault on campus.
With 2 Stanley Cup championships held by the Los Angeles King, ice hockey is starting to grow in sunny Southern California. Valley View News reporter Anissa Pillai has more on the way this sport is for everyone.
The California Condors are the first special needs ice hockey team in the state. Since 2006, it played kids and adults with special needs. The program gives them a chance to be included in hockey, even if they have a disability. Coach J.P. Gialotti says he and his coaches look out for the players' best interests.
Me and all the other coaches, we're all volunteers. We like to get on the ice, know what each player's capabilities are, what their challenges are, and then we coach to that.
Fresh off a tournament in Toronto, Canada, the Condors still hold their 1-hour Saturday practice. It includes shooting, skating, and passing drills, followed by the scrimmage. Players learn more than just hockey skills. Dana Janice says the program has been good for her son, Alexander.
Socialization is really important with him. That's one of the hard things that he has with, as well as communication.
No matter what challenges these players face, they can always count on the game of hockey. In Simi Valley, Anissa Pillai, Valley View News.
It's the highly anticipated Avengers Endgame week, and here's Veronica Barriga with more entertainment news. Veronica?
Thank you. Avengers Endgame will be the 11th film in the comic book series and the final chapter for Disney and Marvel. The movie comes out Thursday night. It's a sequel to last year's Avengers Infinity War, which made $2 billion. CNBC spoke with business people about leadership qualities people can learn from the Avengers. A fitness guru says he loves Tony Stark's crazy confidence. A personal coach says he appreciates Captain America's determination and Thor's approach to self-care. Shazam has been cursed at last. The new movie, The Curse of La Llorona, was #1 at the box office this weekend, earning $12 million. It knocked Shazam out of the top spot. The superhero flick earned just $6 million over the weekend, pushing its total to more than $120 million in just 3 weeks. Breakthrough, Captain Marvel, and Little rounded out the top 5. Hello! Adele and her husband, Simon Konecki, have called it quits. The Grammy Award winner separated from her husband after 7 years of marriage. Adele's rep commented on the split, saying the couple is committed to raising their son together. Fans are also reacting to the breakup. One fan tweeted saying she was sad about the Adele news, but thrilled about her next album. Cardi B has rejected a plea deal relating to her involvement in a strip club brawl last year. The rapper was charged with 3 misdemeanors, 2 for reckless endangerment and another for assault. New York police say Cardi threw chairs and bottles during the incident. Cardi B is set to return to court next month. Buckingham Palace has responded to rumors of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle moving to Africa after their baby is born. Former British ambassador to the U.S. and advisor to Harry and William, David Manning, stated the couple would focus on working on the Commonwealth Trust. Harry is the president and Meghan was the VP earlier this year. Buckingham Palace said no decisions have been made. Meghan and Harry are set to welcome their first child later this year. That is all for entertainment news.
More to come on Valley View News. A 6.1 earthquake shakes the Philippines.
And now that Earth Day is here, a plastic straw ban has begun.
You made her college years possible, opening that education savings account when she was little, spearheading campus tours, and deciphering financial aid. If you can ace planning for college, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Now let's turn to international news.
Here is Angela Rose in our Digital Media Center with the latest.
Some Paris residents are furious about how much money and attention is going toward restoring the cathedral. Yellow Vest protesters are turning to violence, starting fires, using tear gas, and shooting rubber bullets. And police say the protesters have been yelling at them to kill themselves, leading to a rise in officer suicides. Protesters say they are standing up for the poor and against high taxes and pro-business legislation. They feel the response to the Notre Dame fire is overshadowing their demands. The Yellow Vest movement has been going on for 23 weeks. The Eiffel Tower went dark Easter morning to honor hundreds of victims of the Sri Lanka attack. This comes just days after Paris's own devastating fire at Notre Dame. A 6.1 earthquake in the Philippines has killed at least 8 people. In the capital of Manila, people in high-rise buildings fled to safety, and a video shows water pouring from a penthouse swimming pool to the streets below. The Philippines Transportation Department says flights will be canceled for 24 hours. China used to be the main spot for importing plastic waste, but last year China imposed a ban on imported plastic. Now, Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia are becoming flooded with plastic, forcing unlicensed factories to process and burn it. This has produced acrid smoke, causing people to complain about respiratory illnesses. Malaysia has already closed more than 140 illegal factories and suspended foreign imports of plastic scraps. A TV comedian has won Ukraine's presidential election by a landslide. Volodymyr Zelensky has 73% of the votes. He has no experience in Ukraine's government or military. Only 5% of the ballots are left to be counted. That is all for international news. Now back to Nick in the studio with more on Earth Day.
Earth Day this year focuses on the threat of climate change. It's viewed differently in different countries. Pew Research Center surveyed people around the world to get their take on climate change. Research shows concerns and knowledge about climate change have grown since 2013. Women, children, and Democrats are among the groups who believe climate change is a major issue, and more than 80% of adults support teaching climate change in schools. The Sustainability Center at CSUN is front and center on Earth Day. They are offering hands-on projects like an outdoor classroom. Students can get involved with the garden while learning about different ways to turn food waste into compost. The center has trash cans all over campus to promote recycling. The Sustainability Center's Clayton Scott says efforts go beyond Earth Day.
I consider sustainability to be preserving our environment and resources for future generations at the same level that we have, if not more than what we have now.
The Sustainability Center is following a climate action plan designed to reach climate neutrality by 2040. The Earth Fair at California State University Northridge educates students on recycling, food waste, and sustainability. Here's Valley View News reporter Bridgette Creamer with the story.
People come to CSUN's Earth Fair for different reasons. It includes a number of booths teaching people about sustainability. One way to help is by recycling toxic items. Toxic items contaminate groundwater.
Groundwater is our drinking water. So essentially we're kind of poisoning ourselves by not recycling toxic items correctly.
Major items to avoid throwing away include nail polish, liquid makeup, and electronics. These things also contaminate marine life like starfish and sea cucumbers.
They are pretty hardy individuals when it comes to being in the intertidal areas. They're very well adapted to their areas. But what we're doing is we're polluting their environments and causing a really big issue.
Environmental pollution also affects the air. One group at the Earth Fair promotes 100% clean, renewable energy by 2030. Jane Fowler says without clean air, everyone suffers.
Woo, I feel passionate about this because I was affected by the Aliso Canyon gas storage blowout. I felt at times that I might not make it.
Trying to give people a big picture view of sustainability on campus and also in their own lives.
Earth Day is more than just focusing on the planet, but focusing on what people can do to help the planet. At the Earth Fair, I'm Bridgette Creamer with Valley View News.
The new ban on plastic straws starts today in Los Angeles. The ordinance says all food and beverage facilities may not offer straws unless customers request them. This ordinance adds to the state law that sit-down restaurants cannot offer single-use straws. Studies show 500 million straws are used in the U.S. daily. CSUN has already done its part for the new straw ban. Restaurants on campus are not offering single-use straws, and students can buy reusable straws at student stores. Many students say they support the ban.
I'd assume it would help out the environment with less plastic and all that.
Honestly, if it's better for the environment, that's why I'd rather use it. I'd rather give it a shot than not at all.
I'm definitely for it. I feel like saving the environment is always a good thing. So we should use when we need it. So if you don't need a straw, you don't need to ask for a straw.
It's a $25 fine for restaurants violating the law after 2 warnings. This weekend's Los Angeles River Cleanup tries to clear out the trash out of the river. Valley View News reporter Gloria Alas was there.
More than 700 people volunteered for the 30th annual Great LA River Cleanup. They want to contribute to a healthier river. Volunteers make an immediate positive impact on the environment and the Pacific Ocean. Michael Atkins works for Friends of the LA River.
For me and for the 7,000 volunteers who come to our cleanup, the river is a really crucial natural resource within our city that we can tend for and care for and then be proud of as something that connects us.
During Earth Month, people work together pulling tons of trash from the LA River.
Cleaning up trash is important.
Stuart Campbell of the Los Feliz Improvement Association says it takes prevention to keep the city clean.
Making sure that you take care of your trash, you try to use single-use plastics as little as possible.
A Folar volunteer says millennials have a hard time keeping the earth clean because of their peer influences.
I just think they don't see enough of it to want to make a change, and then I think they don't see none of their peers doing it.
Let's make Earth Day every day by encouraging others to get involved and support efforts working towards a healthier planet and a clean environment. In Los Feliz, I'm Gloria Alas.
Today, all Metro bus and rail lines are free, and riders can use promo code 4222019 to unlock free rides at Metro bike stations. Here's Valley View News reporter Brandon Iriarte with more on the story.
It was a busy day at the Chatsworth Metrolink station. Riders like Linda Stevens could ride Metrolink trains and buses for free. It was part of the Earth Day observance.
To know that the Metro offered the opportunity to ride the train cost-free, how could this not be the day for us to head on out?
The free transportation is supposed to promote cleaner ways of getting around. Experts say the environment will get better as well.
On any Metrolink train, Metro bus, or light rail is absolutely free today because it is Earth Day.
Today's Metrolink free rider promotion is expected to attract more people in the future. Metrolink trains travel all over the county. Commuters like Eric prefer avoiding the traffic.
This is so much easier. Sit at a table, have a charging place available, have a restroom if you need it. It's compared to driving. It's hard. But it is my 2-minute warning, so I gotta go.
Even with other modes of transportation like hybrid and electric vehicles, public transportation like trains and buses still prove to be effective and popular. For Valley View News, I'm Brandon Iriarte.
Take advantage of that free transportation today. And now, Valley View News reporter Sydney Gamino is live on campus with Dr. Virginia Vandergaan from the CSUN Biology Department to talk more about the importance of Earth Day.
Can you tell me more about why it's so important that we take care of our planet and what kind of future we see if we don't?
Yeah, I think that it's really important that we educate our students and also our adults on what is going on in our environment and about climate change. And I think that because I do a lot of science education outreach, that I get a chance to do that a lot with people. And I'm particularly working a lot with teachers. So I'm helping them help their students learn about the environment and ways to engage their own students in becoming citizen scientists.
All right. And then I know that CSUN is hosting its own Earth Day event this Saturday. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so my students are presenting workshops, as I was sort of alluding to before, sorry. And they're doing hands-on science with the kids, and they're actually all going to be teachers in the future. So it's a way to practice teaching science and also getting the word out there about the importance of our planet.
And what are some other ways that CSUN students can help the environment every day?
I think just even doing little things like being more conscious of using plastics and how much you drive and leaving lights on. I mean, all of those little things add up if you start to really care for what's going on in our climate.
All right, well, thank you for joining me and happy Earth Day. Now back to you in the studio, Nick.
That's all on Earth Day. Back to you, girls.
Coming up on Valley View News, we learn more about social media ban in Sri Lanka.
Also, problems with the release of Samsung's new foldable smartphone. Stay with us. Now let's turn to social media, tech, and business news.
Here's Valley View's Tomás de Jesus with more.
For the second day, social media networks were blocked in Sri Lanka. The block comes after Sunday's terrorist attack that killed nearly 300 people. Sri Lankan officials say the temporary shutdown of social media is an attempt to prevent misinformation and propaganda from spreading. Sites like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp were some social media sites that were blocked. A Facebook spokesperson says the company is working with law enforcement in Sri Lanka to identify what content violates the company's standard. The Trump administration is tightening economic sanctions against Iran by ending exemptions for countries still buying Iranian oil. State Department officials want to deprive Iran of funds they say the country uses to destabilize the Middle East. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the waivers will end on May 2nd.
Today I'm announcing that we will no longer grant any exemptions. We're going to zero across the board. We will continue to enforce sanctions and monitor compliance. Any nation or entity interacting with Iran should do its diligence and err on the side of caution. The risks are simply not going to be worth the benefits.
Japan, China, India, and South Korea have all been importing oil from Iran. The end to these waivers may mean gas prices in the U.S. will continue to go up. Gas prices have reached an average of $2.84 per gallon, about 8 cents higher than last month. In Los Angeles, drivers are definitely feeling the pain at the pump. The national average of gas prices increased 28 cents this past month, and an annual summer gas blend is forcing drivers to pay over $4 per gallon. CSUN Sustainability Coordinator Clayton Scott says crops play a significant role.
In the summer months when corn is ready to harvest, they probably have a whole bunch of it ready to go so that they can turn it into ethanol and mix it into fuel systems and whatnot.
Isabel Jacobs says driving helps her make ends meet.
I use my car for my job, everything. Like, to earn, you have to spend $40 in a couple of days.
Gas prices will likely remain high for at least the next 3 weeks. U.S. stocks are mixed today, 1 week before corporate quarterly results from internet-related stocks come out. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed down 48 points to close at 26,511. The S&P 500 index closed up almost 3 points. Both benchmarks had been near all-time closing highs. Markets were likely to see suppressed action as most indexes were closed at the end of last week in observance of Good Friday. Samsung is delaying the release of its first foldable phone. The company says it will change the original design of the Galaxy Fold to strengthen the display. Reviewers have noticed a number of issues, including screen failure and debris getting caught between the phone and the hinge of its display. Samsung wants to be the first to market the foldable phone. The company has yet to say when it will arrive. That's it for social media and tech news. Back to you guys.
Every relationship has its baggage. 6 years ago, the couple met at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport at baggage claim number 6. And on Saturday, they were back to the carousel to say their vows in front of family, friends, and travelers. Southwest Airlines catered the event with free pretzels and peanuts. Hopkins International says it was the first ever wedding at the airport. The couple has several children and is now on the wings of love forever. That's all for us at Valley View News. Thank you for watching. I'm Gianni Navarro.
And I'm Kimberly Silverio. For news any time of day, go to our website, sundial.csun.edu. See you next week.